Good morning, uh, everyone. So today we will discuss about the cloud storage. So previously we have discussed about the cloud browser. The previous chapter actually we discussed about the how what are the various tools which are available for us for accessing the cloud. So in this way we have spoken about the browsers. We have spoken about the APIs which are available, the web frameworks. All these things have been discussed in this previous chapter. So in this, we are going to discuss about cloud storage. So is my screen visible to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So as the name suggests here, the cloud storage involves storing of data and the cloud service provider. So what you are doing here is instead of storing the data on the local machine, you are going to store the data on the cloud. So the advantage here is mainly mm, if you are storing the data on the cloud, wherever from means you can access it from any location, provided you are having an internet connection. So the prerequisite here is if you are storing the data on the cloud, the main prerequisite here is you must have an internet connection, and then if you are storing it on the cloud, and you can access it from any location there. So this is very advantageous for us because the people who are moving around the world are moving from one place to another place. If they want to connect, if they want to access their data, or if they want to work on the data easily, what they can do here is they can connect and they can start using. So the thing here is you can maintain the data locally or actually on the cloud. Both for safety as well as redundancy. But the basic advantage here is you can actually access the data from anywhere. So another primary advantage here is you did not physically carry any storage devices. Say for example, if you want to move the data from one place to another place, if you want to carry the data, previously what the people used to do is they used to carry the data on the physical storage devices like floppy disks. They used to the CD, DVDs, and then comes your flash drives or the pen drives, where you copy the data on the on these devices, and you used to carry them. Okay, but now it's not necessary. Everything is stored on the cloud, and you can simply access them. See, already see, we are actually enjoying it. We are actually using it. Okay, so many of us are having this Google account or your email accounts. What you are simply doing is you are simply dumping the data onto the cloud. You are attaching it to your email, or you are using this Google Drive to place the data. And wherever and whenever is required, if you are having an internet connection, simply you are logging in into your account, and then you are accessing your information. Okay, so then some of the basics, if you discuss here that there are different cloud storage systems and are very specific in what they do. Okay, so different types of cloud storage systems are there. So some are niche oriented and store just emails or digital pictures, while the others store any type of data. Means according to the requirement, some are niche oriented in the sense they are meant for a specific type of storage purpose, like storing the emails or storing the email digital pictures. Whereas in case of the other storage providers, you can store any kind of data onto the cloud here. Okay, so next, at a basic level, a cloud storage system needs one data server connected to the internet. There means what you are doing here. A data server is there. You are going to access the data server. Then you are going to copy your files from your system to your data server, and whenever you want to retrieve these files, whenever you want to access these files, just you'll use a web interface, and you can copy the file back to your system, or simply you will start working on that system, working with that file, and you can manipulate, you can change the data. Okay, so one basic data server is enough. But the problem with the cloud storage provider, cloud here is there are numerous number of customers which access the cloud, and also uh, uh, mm, not one server is enough, because redundancy is also an important aspect in case of cloud storage, because if one server comes down, if the one server is not working, the other server can help to provide the service there, any kind of service, whether it may be in software as a service, hardware as a service, other or you can this storage as a service we can speak out. Okay, so therefore, there are dozens of hundreds of data servers which are maintained, because the servers requires maintenance or repair, and it is necessary to store the data, save data on multiple machines. That's what I am speaking here. That redundancy is important, because sometimes if it is stored on a one server, if suddenly it got if it needs to be maintained, the whole process will come down. So instead of that, if you are maintaining it on several systems, what happens here is, anytime if some kind of maintenance is required, or if some problem arises, the other server will take the responsibility of providing any kind of services. More specific here, talking about the storage there. Okay. And also, most of the systems are stored the same data on the servers using different power supplies. That's why the clients can still access the data even the power fails there. So also different kinds of power supplies are also interested with these servers, and if one fails, the other is going to provide the service to that. And many clients use cloud storage not because they have run out of the room locally, but for the safety there. Another important aspect here is why we are going for this cloud storage here is mm, is for the safety purpose also, because if you are maintaining the in-house data, if you are maintaining data at our place, there may be a chance, there may be a possibility that because of some catastrophic situations, like suddenly a fire broke out, suddenly some floods have come, suddenly some earthquakes have come there. In such cases, you may lose the data if you are maintaining locally. Now, because you are placing it some other place, even though if any thing happens, still you can access that data. That is another reason why the people are migrating towards the clouds there. So the term storage as service, like a software service, or means that the third party provider rents the space for their storage to end users who lacks a budget or capital budget to pay for it on their own. Means the main idea here is, a third party provider rents space on their storage to the end users. Means what we are doing, we are just asking for some space, because you wish to store the data onto the cloud. So because you are storing the data on the cloud there, you are asking for some space there. The third party is providing you the some space. So you are just owning that space for temporarily. You are dumping your data. You are placing the data on there, and you are actually using it. For example, here, see, when you're when you're using email service, so by default, say for instance, if you're going for a Google, so it is providing you 15 GB of data. So once the 15 data, you're done with the 15 GB of data, what you can do, you can simply buy some space. You can buy some space. There will be some annual subscription or monthly subscription, or whatever the type of subscription is there. You're just going to pay a nominal amount. It's not even a huge amount. You're just paying some amount, and then you're using that space. You can place anything, any kind of data on there. So it is also ideal when technical persons are not available or having inadequate knowledge to implement and maintain the storage infrastructure. So another point here, which it is preferring that here is, if we don't have a person who is having a sound knowledge about the storage infrastructure, how to maintain it, then it is better to opt for a service provider who can give you some space for storing the data. Okay. And also, the storage service providers are nothing new, but given the complexity of current backup, replication, disaster recovery needs, the service has become popular, especially among the small, medium. So, why this has become very popular? Because of the current taking the backup of data time to time, replications of the data, recovering from any disaster. So because these service providers are somewhat what I experienced in this kind of business. So this has become very popular. So mainly the another advantage here is the cost saving, because you need not buy the servers, you did not buy the storage space. Simply you need not maintain the storage infrastructure. Some third party is maintaining that, and simply we are using. So of course this is the primary advantage of cloud computing. Right from first day we are just discussing the same point, that the main advantage of one of the main advantage of cloud computing is mm, what I can say here is the cost saving, because you need not invest much amount of money. Simply you can use it. You can use it as you pay, and a customer uses the client software to specify the backup set and then transfers data across the WAN. When the data loss occurs, the customer can retrieve the data from the service provider. This is a point, normal point, that whenever you want, you can just dump the data, you can transfer the data, and whenever you lost the data, you can get it back. So there are number of service providers are there on the web, and each is providing different kinds of services, different kinds of they are meant for different purposes, actually, rather I can say here. Okay, so no, day by day number of new service providers have been coming into business, and they are, you can add to them. Okay, some of the cloud providers which are offering you the storage service are mentioned here. So let us discuss few of them. One is the Google Docs. Almost we all are using it. So this is allowing us to upload the documents, spreadsheets, and presentations on the Google data servers. So those files can be edited using the Google applications. So what you can do here, the primary advantage here is you can upload the files, documents, spreadsheets, and presentation. And the point here is, see, mm, you can create a document on your PC, then you can upload it onto the Google Docs, and you can open it from anywhere in the world, provided you are having an internet connection. And what you can do here is you need not install any software directly. What you can do here is you can edit the documents or any kind of file which have been uploaded using this Google application. Then you have the web mail providers like Gmail. You are having Gmail, Hotmail, and Yahoo Mail. A lot of mailing services which are been provided for us. What you can do here is you can send the mails from one computer to another computers. Uh, this is what is this is what is actually possible for us, and you can send and receive the emails here. Okay, then you have the Flickr and Picasa host millions of digital photographs. Of course, you might have uh, learnt about this. You might have an idea about this, the Picasa or Flickr. So, like Google Photos, you are having in your mobile, Google Photos. So, what you can do here is you can upload, you can host, you can post a number of digital photographs on there. You can create your own albums, photo albums online. Then you have in YouTube, the most mm, one of the uh, storage provider which are using at most the YouTube, where millions of users are uploading video files. So like what I am doing also, once I have finished the class, or I am just simply uploading the file to the YouTube, and then I'm sharing the link to you people. And what you can do here is you can listen to that file again. Then you have the host monster and GoDaddy stores files and data for many clients' websites there. So if you are a client of GoDaddy, or if you are a client of Monster, what you can do here is you can upload your files, you can store your files and data on that. And then you have the Facebook also. You know that Facebook, MySpace, the social networking sites allow members to post their pictures and other content. So on Facebook, we can post the videos, we can post the pictures, we can post our textual messages, and this content are being again stored with the company on the company servers. Then we have a MediaMax and storage space, offers storage space for any kind of digital data. Likewise, you have thousands of companies nowadays and thousands of cloud providers which are offering the cloud services. Okay, and many of these services are provided for free. This is the point which I have discussed earlier. They are provided for free, and others they charge per gigabyte. Uh, the information you store means how much gigabytes of information are you are going to store. As per that, they are going to charge for that, and um, more and more providers of the services prices are tend to drop, and some companies offer certain amounts from free there. So you are observing that some of the companies are offering you the services for free, and just you're using those services as and when required. Then you have, and if you talk about the security, another very important aspect here is right from first day when you are using the cloud. So as I have just said that cost effective, because the cloud will save the cost. At the same time, you may be mm, thinking about not thinking about the security of your data also. So because you are storing the data on a third party machine, you are storing the data on some service provider. So then you come across with this problem of security where you may be thinking about whether your data is safe or not. So we have been discussing this point many times, and in the coming classes also we'll be discussing the security aspects of the cloud computing. So to secure your data, most of the systems are the combination of techniques like encryption, authentication process, and authorization practices. So encryption, as you know that you might be learning in your this network security and cryptography, where the data is encrypted and it is encrypted. The complex algorithm is used to encode your information. So you are just changing the information from its normal form into some uh, another form where it cannot be decoded, it cannot be decrypted until unless you are having the correct key there. So the to decode an encrypted file, the user needs an encryption key. So you need to have some key where you can decode. So what you can do here is you can encrypt your data and you can place it under the cloud. Okay, you can place it under the cloud, and whenever it is required, what you can simply do here is uh, uh, you can decrypt it and you can take. Likewise, if you want to share the information also to some other person, so what you can do here is you can encrypt the file and you can place it on the cloud, and you can provide the key to the other person. Means only the people who are having that key can actually access that information. Like see for example, YouTube, I'm creating the links. You if you uh, if you uh, if you generally want to search for my video files on the net, they are not available because I'm making them secured. I'm just sharing the link. What I say here is the people who are just having the link, the video link, they can only view my videos. Others cannot view, or the files are not been listed in the YouTube at all. I can make it more secured also. How I can make it more secured is I can make it my video private, and I can just share uh, the link via email to the persons, and the person who received my email, actually they can only view the file. I can make it further stronger like that. I can provide the security to my files there. Then you have the authentication process also. So before accessing any files on the cloud computing, you can go through an authentication process where you can provide the username and password, and if they are correct, then you can access it. Like we are doing here. No, I cannot access um, the files which are stored by you on the clouds, the files which are being stored by you uh, on your Google Drive. Okay, likewise, you cannot access my files. So, what if even if I want to access my Google Drive files, I should provide the proper user ID and password. Then only I can access them. Then you have an authorization practices. The client lists the people who are authorized to access the information stored on the cloud. Many corporations have multiple levels of authorization here. Now that's what I said here. Just know the authorization practices are also important. That people are who are having the authorized access. Like I'm just providing you the link. The people who are actually having the link, my video link, they can only access. That's what as an authorization which I'm providing here. Okay. So, like, wise, what I can do here, what you can do in the cloud computing storage, that you can provide proper authorization to people also. Means the limited access means how much um, to what level they can access the information. That can also be that can also be what I can say, that what type of information and how much information can be accessed. It can also be set. It can also be set, and then only that portion of the data or to that limited level only the people can access. Okay, like for example, on the Google Drive, if any file is loaded by you, what you can um, what you can do here is you can go through this authorization practice. When you're sharing it with someone, you can simply say that only viewing, and you can, others, if your friend is there, you can give him the permission to edit the file there. The meaning of that is, one person you are just giving the permission only to view the file, and the other person you are giving the permission to edit the file. That's what is the authorization practices you can maintain. Okay, but even these measures have been taken, there are still some concerns that the data stored on the remote system may be vulnerable. There is always a concern that the hacker will find the way to way into the secure system and access the data. Means, though you are providing much more security here, still the hackers, what they are going to do, they are actually going to access the information. They are trying to break the security, and they will try to access the information. In such cases, also it is some endangered, and some more measures are supposed to be taken there. And also another very dangerous thing here is, sometimes you cannot trust the employees, our own employees, because they can alter the information, or they can destroy the information using their own access credentials, because you are providing some access credentials to your employees, and because of that, what they can do here is, they can actually change the information, or sometimes they tend to delete the information. In such cases also, you must be very careful regarding this. Next is the another concern is about the reliability. Reliability in the cloud storage system. If your cloud system is unreliable, it becomes a liability. No one wants to save the data on an unsavable system there, or no one will trust to that company there. So most cloud providers try to address the reliability concern through the redundancy. Means here, if you are not reliable, no one will come and approach you. No one wants to do business with you. In such cases, in such case, the cloud providers will try to address this reliability concern through the redundancy. As we had discussed earlier, that redundancy is providing the system, placing the system on multiple places, and when at one place, if you lose um, if one system is not working, the other system will take the responsibility, and it is going to provide you the data there. So here, the reputation is the important to the cloud storage providers. If there is a perception that the provider is unreliable, they won't have many clients. So that's what I said here, that if you're not having good reputation, no one will come and wish to do business with you in the market there. Okay, next, what are the advantages here? The cloud storage actually is becoming increasingly advantageous. You know that it has been very popular. So if a person is having a little bit idea about cloud computing, and if you ask you if they, means if you ask them what is the major purpose of using the cloud, I hope most of the people will answer that it is meant for the storage purpose. Okay, so because the storage has become more and more popular, I can say that. So data resides on the web, located across the storage systems rather than the designated corporate hosting site. Cloud storage providers balance the server loads and move the data from various data centers, ensuring that the information is stored close and thereby available quickly where it is used. No, the advantage, one of the advantage it is said here is uh, the data will be residing in the cloud, and so cloud service provider will try to move the data to as closest as possible to the server, so that they can access the information quickly. Okay. Okay, quickly. For instance, for example, if a company exists there and it is providing the storage service, what it will do here is it is going to place the data in the different machines. Say, for example, the company X is providing throughout the Asia, and if some Indian customers are there, what it will try to do here is they actually tend to place the data as close as possible in the server which is placed in the India, so that we can access the information from the Indian server very quickly, rather accessing the same data from the server which is placed in some other country in the Asia. So they will try to bring the information as close as possible to us so that it can be retrieved very quickly. Likewise, storing the data on the cloud is advantage because it allows you to protect your data in case of any disaster. So already I had discussed this point that if any disaster occurs, so you may lose the data. Like if some information is on my laptop. If suddenly if my laptop fails, I may lose the information. But if at the same point, if I place my data on the cloud there, so I can just access the data through my mail ID and password, and I can retrieve the data. So, which storage vendor to go with can be a complex issue, and how your technology interacts with the cloud can be complex. For instance, no, which clouded mm, cloud provider you are going to choose. That is another issue here. Which cloud provider you are going to choose will be another issue, because there are many people which are providing the services throughout the world. So choosing a right cloud provider may be a problem for you. In such cases, uh, um, uh, you need to choose it widely as per the technology which you are using. So here some example is given. Some products are agent based and the application automatically transfers information to the cloud via FTP, but others employ a web front end. The user has to select the local files on their computer to transmit. Now, some will be the agent based, says that automatically the data will be transferred to the cloud without your prior means without your permission. In the sense, in the beginning you will set it and the data will be automatically transferred to the cloud, and other sometimes you have to manually select the files and then you have to transmit it. Amazon S3 is the best known storage solution, but other vendors might uh, be better for the larger enterprises there. So here it is suggesting that Amazon S3 simple storage system is actually is one of the best solution for the storage, best solution for cloud storage. Amazon S3 is one of the best storage provider for us. Then you can go for the other service providers also. Next is if we talk about the cautions here, a mixed approach might be the best way to embrace the cloud, since the cloud storage is still which they don't commit anything. Means what it says here is when you're going to choose for the storage, just it suggests that to be careful here. The careful in the sense here, not just simply believe it and dump everything onto the cloud. So it says to what. So as I told you earlier that this book is written long back. Okay, at that time your cloud solution is actually immature. It is in the beginning stages there. So and that's the reason why. So he says he to be cautious. So for moving towards the cloud, but now the whole scenario has been changed. A lot of people have actually embraced this. Um, cloud computing, and they have been using it. So you can go, but still, if you read out some of the means in what ways we need to be cautious. So let us just discuss one or two points, and we can conclude that larger enterprises might have difficulty with vendors uh, like Google or Amazon because they are forced to rewrite solutions for their applications, and there is a lack of portability. A vendor like 3Terra, however, supports applications developed in LAMP, Solaris, Java, or Windows Network. Means larger, means if you are going for the Google bigger vendors there, they are forced to rewrite the solution, and then there comes a portability problem. So sometimes there may be a portability problem here. Okay, well, because your file may not be portable there. But some applications developed in a LAMP or uh, the Solaris, mm, Java or Windows.NET, you can simply use them. Okay, so the biggest deal breakers when it comes to the cloud storage seems to be the price and reliability. That is, mm, this is where you have to vet your vendor to ensure that you are getting a good deal with quality service. One mistake on your vendor's part could be mean irretrievable data. There means how much price and how much reliable your cloud provider is also you have to look for, because once if you believe him and if you place the data onto the cloud and if he fails, the data may not be irrefutable. Okay, so that is about this. We will talk more about some more points are there. Yeah, what happens at the outages, what is about the theft there, uh, and then we will discuss about the various storage providers we have, the Amazon S3, how it is going to store the data. Okay, then we have the Nirvanix and its features, the Google Big Table Data Store. Okay, then we have MobileMe, Live Mesh. So all these are different companies which are actually providing the cloud storage um, facilities. We will discuss them in the coming class. Okay. So any doubt regarding this?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Fine. Then we will see you tomorrow. Okay. So I will announce the time the earlier stage so that you can get it.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
Mm,
sir.
okay, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, right.